We're talking time poverty and real poverty. We gonna get into it. Let's get it. Welcome. First of all, welcome. This is Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, here to lead the conversation in important events and topics that are shaping today's society. Join the conversation and follow us wherever you get your audio podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our video podcast, YouTube exclusive content, and our YouTube membership. Rate, review, like, comment, share. Share with your friends, share with your family. Hell, even share with your enemies. On today's episode, it's the Sibling Happy Hour. I'm here with my sis, Aundrea. We're going to be dilly-dadding a little bit. Then we're going to be talking about time poverty. And then we're going to be talking about being in poverty and trying to throw a party. But that's enough of the intro. Let's get to the show. What up, sis?
What up, brother?
I can't call it. That rain in the background is deep in Georgia. Georgia.
I want to go outside.
No, it's me right now. I'm singing Can You Stand the Rain? Because I can't stand it right now.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm going to have to clean that up in audio. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, something interesting happened.
What's that?
That brought a slight joy to my heart.
Okay.
Now, we haven't talked about it on our show, but I talked about it on my show that Turning Point USA, that organization that Charlie Kirk started, was going to do their own Super Bowl halftime show because they were all bent out of shape. All white America has been out of shape. Not all white America. A lot of white America has been out of shape that Bad Bunny is going to be performing at the Super Bowl. So they said they're going to do their own all-American Super Bowl.
Right.
They don't have any acts lined up yet. They tried to hint that Neil Young was going to be out there. And Neil Young has made an anti-Trump song. So I don't really know how that's going to work out.
I don't know why they thought that.
So it's going to be interesting that I don't know.
They can't get Kid Rock won't do it.
Kid Rock is not a big enough act to bring in. They need somebody.
They're not gonna find a big act. They're just not gonna find. They haven't been able to do that in the last 10 years. They're not going to. It's gonna be D-list.
Who is they? Who is
Trump,
they?
Trumpers, Namaga, any of those people.
Well, I mean, they could get Laura Trump. I guess Laura Trump be singing.
Okay. It's going to be C, D, E, F list, everything.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Who did they think they were going to get?
I don't know. And to try and do a counter program to Bad Bunny, I just don't know.
Everybody's going to be watching Bad Bunny. Even the people who are going to be hate watching it. I bet they still going to be watching it.
Over whoever they got for Turning Point. I mean, maybe
they're not going to get nobody.
I guess they could get Carrie Underwood. I guess she's somebody who would drive sales. That's who they had singing at the inauguration, didn't they? Carrie Underwood. Didn't she win American Idol or something like that? She's a major like country singer.
Oh, I've never heard of her in my entire life.
You have heard of Carrie Underwood.
Name one song.
I didn't say that I knew the songs. I know her.
Oh, okay.
I don't know name one of her songs, but there's a lot of artists out there that I don't know their songs, and then you go down their catalog and be like, I didn't know that was them.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never heard of this person.
Pat Benatar got more than 2 songs, but if it ain't Love is a Battlefield, and actually, I don't know the other song.
Yeah. That's it.
But no, she got some hits, though. She got hits.
Yeah, all right. Listen.
Tears for Fears got mad hits. Mad hits.
All right. They can find somebody. It's not going to be anybody good.
Oh, the people I just labeled, Pat Benatar and Tears for Fears, ain't going to be performing at Turning Point. But besides, they don't want them. I'm just talking about in general, talking about people that do songs. You'd be like, oh, I didn't know that was them, that they did that.
Yeah. You know who is a main with Hall & Oates? I always be like, I don't know who Hall & Oates is. And then I hear the songs and I'm like, I know exactly who Hall & Oates is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know why? Because we were watching MTV, but we weren't watching MTV when MTV first came out.
Right.
So there's a lot of musical acts from the 80s that we are going to know their music, but if they were standing right in front of us, we wouldn't know who the hell they were.
I would pass you right on by, Pat Benatar. I'm so sorry.
A friend of mine is part of a fraternity, and one of the fraternity members is married to Laura Winslow from Family Matters.
Okay.
So they got to meet Laura Winslow from Family Matters. And I was like, did you bother her? He's like, no, it's not the first time I met her. I didn't bother her. I said, you better than me, because I would have been asking 1,000,001 questions. I'd have been like, yo, so first of all, when Stefan Urkel came on the scene, how did you really feel? How did you feel when
This is
Steve
why I
Urkel...
hope you don't meet no celebrities, because
No, I've met celebrities before, and it depends on the celebrity. I've met movie stars, and I've been like, I don't really care.
yeah,
NBA players, I've been like, nah, I don't really care.
yeah.
But certain people that's part of like a nostalgic nature to me, I'm going to pester the hell out of them. If I met Bret the Hitman Hart, I got 1,000,001 questions to ask Bret the Hitman Hart.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I had 1,000,001 questions for Prince. You know.
But that's Prince, though.
Yeah.
That's understandable. I'm talking about, those C, D, E list celebrities that have a special tug on your heart.
Yeah.
Like Jordan from the Bernie Mac show. I'd be pestering him with so many questions.
Yeah.
Like, how are you so funny as a kid?
That kid was funny.
Yes.
That kid was funny. He was a great foil for Bernie.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No,
perfect casting. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you watch something that's nostalgic and you're just like, hey, I got a bunch of questions to ask you about the film. And Punky Brewster is another one. I was talking about it the other day. Punky Brewster and Rudy were my first two crushes.
Okay. Sure.
Rudy from the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
So the both of them, if I met them in person, I got 1,000,001 questions, and I'm also going to tell them how many times I made out to a stuffed animal that I pretended was them.
Don't give people that information.
Nah, I'm just going to go ahead and be mad creepy with it. That's who I am. I'm creepy. Might as well give them the raw, real, and honest.
Don't give people, don't give them that information. You going to be hit with a restraining order. That's the next step.
I didn't say I was doing it now. This was 40 years ago. I was a kid. You can't hold it against me as a kid.
I can, and I will.
They might think that was endearing. No.
No.
Speaking of rain,
yeah,
we gotta send out thoughts and prayers to Jamaica.
Yes,
because Hurricane Melissa is coming. I did see that it was downgraded. It was normally a Cat 5, but it's downgraded to a Cat 2. But that don't mean that there's not going to be some major suffering.
Yeah.
Once that hurricane hits that island.
So be sure to, I don't have any right in front of me. I'm so sorry, but be sure to go ahead. Cursory Google search will let you know where you can donate for relief efforts. I believe it's already left Jamaica, headed towards Cuba. So, yeah, there are lots of ways in which you can help. So, please do so if you can.
You're right. It did already leave Jamaica and is about to hit Cuba. You're right on that one. Yep, you're right. Also, ladies and gentlemen, as long as this government shutdown is happening, we are under the first administration that no matter what shutdown has ever occurred, no other administration has ever stopped SNAP from happening. No other president has ever done it.
Yeah.
This trifling asshole has decided to do that. People are getting ready to be hit. This episode will release Friday, Halloween. This year, Halloween was on the weekend. Me and Ghetto Boys was trick-or-treating on Saturday. They're not putting out them SNAP benefits. And most people, I've been seeing certain senators coming out saying, you got these young men on SNAP, they're able-bodied, they need to get out to work. No, that's not how that works. Most of the time, you're in a state where it is very difficult to get these benefits. They don't just
Yes,
hand them out like free candy.
they really don't. They really, really don't. And it is SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It is a supplement. Most of the people on SNAP are working, but they can't afford to feed themselves and their families, so they need supplemental benefits. 42 million people are going to be rely on SNAP and are going to be impacted when the money runs out November 1st. And
Well, the money isn't running out because they have enough money in reserves to still issue SNAP. The administration is just going to stop.
yeah, so this is NPR. So the Trump administration has warned that the debit-like EBT cards will not be refilled and that the program will run out of money on November 1st. So that's what the Trump administration is saying, that the program is going to run out of money. Whether or not that's true,
You can't ever trust. I got into
no.
somebody pulled me into a debate the other day, and I was just like, they asked me questions, they kept peppering me with questions, and I was like, this is a disingenuous conversation. I know it is. But they knew the pressure. They kept pressing the button until I unleashed.
Yeah.
And they were just like, what was the other choice? Kamala? And I was like, yeah, if you want to base it
Yes.
on integrity.
Yeah.
They're like, I said, do you think Donald Trump has more integrity than Kamala Harris? He does what he says he's going to do. God forbid that he does what he says he's going to do that doesn't have anybody else but himself lining his pockets. And then when I said lining the pockets, they kind of shrugged. And I was like, oh, okay.
You know what an assassin does? What they say they're going to do?
Okay.
Why? Because he has integrity because he does what he says he's going to do. But what he does is harmful, is violent, is malicious.
Yeah, I was wondering. You had to bring that one around because it's
like,
assassin.
What you mean? Because it took me a second because I was like, what you mean? He has integrity because he does what he says he's going to do. Mm-hmm. Not when what he is doing is harming 42 million people. A majority of the recipients of SNAP are seniors and families with kids and people with disabilities. So explain to me how doing what you're saying you're going to do in that instance means he has integrity. Please, y'all, please.
Yeah, well, I'm realizing now that people that were reasonable have now jumped on that train and they're gone.
Yeah.
They're like the idea that you can reason with people. No, you can't reason with everybody. There might be some people that come back only when it starts to affect them. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, hey, wait a minute. But these people that most of these policies that they're not going to affect, they're older. They don't care about abortion. They don't care about healthcare. They don't even really care about Social Security because they know they're going to definitely get Social Security before they pass. Right. Like all these issues don't really affect them. They jumped on this Trump train and they're not getting off. And they're justifying their actions by just saying, hey, I did it.
Yeah.
Somebody legitimately said to me, my dad raised us 4 people household on his salary. I said, in the 60s? 1960s? We are 60 years away from the 60s.
Yeah. And salaries have not risen commensurate with inflation. So how long has the minimum wage been the current minimum wage? So please, that's just it's like the boomers who are against student loan debt relief, right? Well, I paid my college tuition. It was $500.
Where was they going to community college?
I mean, I worked at McDonald's and paid my tuition. Yeah, you know how much school costs now?
Yeah, I just feel like that you can't reach these people.
No.
So I just stopped trying.
Yeah,
And
it's not worth my time.
I've blatantly got to the point, and I know I need to really stop doing this because I might get shot one day.
Mhm.
I just look at people all the time, and I don't just solely give them the look of that's dumb face. Like I
Mhm.
just don't give them, hey, what you just said, that was dumb face. I literally will say to them, well, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Or I'll insult them even more by saying, come on, you're smarter than that.
Yeah.
They get mad. I don't really give a damn. Maybe they'll start thinking. But anyway, yeah, I need to stop telling people that they're stupid. I mean, it is a flaw of mine. But the good thing about all of this is that I finally have started going through the comments
Mhm.
because I stopped for a while. Started going through the comments on the YouTube page. I checked the other day. It was like 1,500 comments that I had to go
Goodness.
through that weren't filtered, that were
Oh.
not filtered.
Hmm.
So that means there were more that are filtered that are probably derogatory or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And most of the time, people are like, hey, look, I'm learning from the podcast. Really appreciate your perspective. So it's people out there that's like, all right, cool, we
Yeah.
learning something. And
Yeah.
so I learned recently that cool, they learning. For those people that don't want to learn, to hell with them.
I'm not gonna waste the energy and the time trying to convince people that vulnerable communities, their lives matter, that food is a right, that shelter is a right, that quality education and healthcare, these things are rights. These are not 42 million people. And I want to say, so in fiscal year 2023, children under 5 made up 11% of SNAP benefits. Children 5 to 17 made up 27.7%. So about 39% in 2023 of SNAP benefits were children under the age of 17. So you're like literally taking the food out of the mouths of children. I can't reason with someone who is in support of a policy like that or is in support of actions like that. You can't reason with someone because they do not see those lives as valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you a Gen Z stare and keep it pushing.
That Gen Z stare.
Yeah.
I tell people nowadays when they're trying to engage me in debate, I immediately say, "Oh, you're not coming from a place of trying to seriously debate. So
Yeah.
never
You're not
mind."
being genuine.
And I also say, look, we can debate about policy, right?
Hmm.
Like we could debate about what's the better economic policy. Is it trickle down economics? Is it lowering taxes for the middle class? Okay, like there are valid arguments that we can
Yeah.
go back and forth and debate that.
Yes.
When we talk about feeding, housing, caring for the needy or the people that are in need,
Hmm.
and I'm for it and you're against it, this isn't a difference of opinions.
Yeah.
This is a difference of morality.
Yeah.
And that I'm not going to debate you on.
No, I can't debate you on the value of human life. I can't debate you on human decency. Like you're you're right. This is a morality issue. It's not a political one. There are children, folks with disabilities, elderly folks in this country who rely on these benefits. There are families who rely on these benefits. There are students who rely on these benefits to eat because they don't make enough or they're in a situation where they can't earn enough to feed themselves. And we live in one of the richest countries, if not, I think we're the richest country. I don't know. In
I
the
don't know nobody.
world.
Yeah.
We have the funds don't tell me we don't have the money when y'all just sunk all that money into ICE. Don't tell me we don't have the money for this. Don't tell me the states don't have the money. Some states don't. Now that's true. There's some states that are pretty poor. I'm not gonna lie about that. But don't tell me that we don't have the money to make sure that at least vulnerable people can eat. What? What are we even talking about here? No, I'm not going to debate you on that because you're not even coming from a humane place. And just as like I won't debate a cat, I'm not going to debate someone who has lost their humanity. I talk to human beings.
And that's the truth, Ruth. Jay, you brought up something a few months back. And what you were talking about was I kept explaining to you that I've been staying up late at night just to play video games and just to have me time. And you said, yeah, you described it as, what was that again?
Revenge, procrastination, bedtime, something like that.
Okay, so I do that consistently. But I didn't realize that the reason why I'm doing this is because I have time poverty. And some people listen to this and be like, what the hell is time poverty? Y'all was talking about regular poverty where you need SNAP to supplement your food. But what is time poverty? So time poverty is defined as a chronic imbalance between the amount of time individuals need for personal well-being, rest, and life outside of work, and the actual time they have available, particularly due to demands of jobs and workplace culture. It highlights that a growing number of American workers face this issue, often skipping or not fully using their vacation time because of internal pressures or fear of negative consequences. And this is coming from a Newsweek article called Time Poverty's Americans Are Suffering from Time Poverty by Hugh Cameron. And I just thought it was interesting because we often talk about in the show how remote work really, for the majority of people out there, improved the quality of life for a lot of people because they weren't traveling back and forth to work. They're not spending as much money to get lunch and do this thing and that thing. So they were saving more money. They had more time for themselves. People were getting into shape. People were buying exercise bikes. What's that bike that everybody was? Peloton. Everybody had a Peloton. Peloton blew up during the pandemic. People was getting in shape. You was doing one of two things. Either you was drinking in time or getting in shape, or you started out drinking all the time and decided, oh, I need to get in shape. But you was doing something to improve the quality of your life.
Yes.
And people out here are being forced back into the office and out here suffering again. DC has been shut down, but that ain't stopped traffic from being crazy, which means that the government might be shut down, but people are still working their asses off.
Yeah. I mean, they got to make some money.
You got to.
Got to make some money somehow. Yeah.
But time poverty affects people by harming their mental health, their productivity, and even their physical health. It contributes to burnout, increased stress, and emotional fatigue, ultimately reducing employees' engagement and satisfaction. So the article also notes studies linking time poverty with worse well-being outcomes than unemployment. So people who are unemployed, who are still mentally better than people who suffer from time poverty at work.
Yeah.
So this is showing how serious of an impact it is on individuals.
Yeah.
You've worked in the corporate industry.
Yes.
I know I have. I don't ever take vacations. I actually have not had a real vacation
Yeah.
in 9 years.
Wow.
And even when I was on that vacation, and I was 7 hours behind,
Mm-hmm.
I was still working.
Working.
And I don't think I have work fatigue and things of that nature. Mostly enjoy what I do,
Mm-hmm.
but I wish I did have more time just for me.
Yeah. It is a culture or a societal issue
Mm-hmm.
because too often in American corporate culture, there is this overwhelming sense of guilt for taking what is your benefit, which is your paid leave. There was actually an academic article written by Davison and Blackburn in 2023. It was called "The Case for Offering Paid Leave: Benefits to the Employer, Employee, and Society." And so basically what it says is it's basically an argument for why employers should be offering paid leave, not only offering it, but making it a part of the culture of that workplace for people to take that leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because not only is it critical for employee well-being and equity, but it's also cost effective and a strategic HR practice, right? Because if you take your time, if you take that paid leave, the sick leave, the family leave, if you get those benefits and you actually utilize those benefits, you are you're less likely to leave that company, right? You're less likely to experience things like burnout and have to take some extended leave because of your mental health or well-being. It affects your physical health, your mental health, your psychological health. Hell, it affects your spiritual health. And the US really has a problem with offering paid vacation, sick leave, parental leave, things like that. We currently have no federally mandated paid vacation, sick leave, or parental leave. Like in contrast, like European countries guarantee 20 to 30 plus vacation days and extended parental leave for both mothers and fathers. And
Yeah.
we're
So,
not doing it.
yeah. So, based on what you were saying, time poverty among workers can mean lower productivity,
Mm-hmm.
higher rates of absenteeism, or presenteeism,
Yeah.
meaning that employees being at work but not fully functional, and
Yes.
increased employee turnover as well because people just get burnt out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. I know somebody who is a manager, not a manager. They're a partner in a firm. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they're a partner in a firm, and I remember I was talking to them, and they were getting fed up because they were dealing with this project, and people were on vacation,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a person. I don't think they were either a younger millennial or a Gen Z, and the person that was a partner was like, they need to be answering their emails. I was like, well, they're on vacation. Why would
Yeah.
they answer their emails?
Yeah.
I did, and that's the reason why I'm a partner. Well, maybe they don't want to make partner.
Right.
Maybe their job isn't their life. Well, they should
Right.
need to be on call. I was like, no,
No.
they're on vacation.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility, because you know when they're about to go on vacation, to make sure as a manager, all right, we got to pick up the slack here because
Yeah.
they're going to be going on vacation.
Yeah.
So when they come back, not only because this is time poverty, this is one of the reasons, this is one of the problems with some of the things that you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
is that even if there was mandatory vacation time, people are still coming back to boxes and boxes and boxes of emails and work to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, the reason why I don't stop working and I don't sit still, because I have only a 1 day a week where I've designated I'm not going to do any work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I still end up doing a little work, but it's for the podcast, so I don't really consider that work. But there's a reason why I designate 1 day, because I know for my health benefits, I don't need to work on that day.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is I can't designate any other day, because if I'm just sitting around, I'm like, there's some work I could be doing right now.
Yeah.
And So people would do that on vacation. So it's about a culture change completely for
Yeah.
whatever company that you're working for. And people, not everybody is meant to be a manager. I think you
Yeah.
can learn how to be a good manager, but I don't know if you can learn how to be a good leader. I don't know if you can.
There are strategies and skills, soft skills that you can gain through experience. But I think when your premise of what a manager or a leader is wrong from the beginning, you're not going to
Mm,
be good. If you think that what a manager is or what a leader is someone who tells people what to do, then you're already not set up to be good at that. So like a manager or a leader is a guide. They're a
mhm.
resource. They're there to make sure that you have everything you need to do your job effectively and to develop you in the ways that, align with whatever your career path is. So it's not do this, do that, do this, and I take the credit. If you're already thinking that that's what a leader is, and it doesn't matter what soft skills you learn, you're never going to be good at the job.
I just think that this country, because we are so invested on capitalism,
Mm-hmm.
and capitalism says, yo, we need businesses to run and we need people to work in those businesses and we need those businesses to grow.
Yeah.
Now, if you have good business owners who are like, look, we're going to grow the business. I'm going to try to employ as many people as possible. I'm not going to hoard all the profits. As I grow, I'm going to hire more, pay them right, and develop a culture where people want to come into work. Great. But overall, in this country,
Mm-hmm.
that isn't the case. There was just an article the other day. Major companies just laid off a rack of people.
Yeah.
Amazon was one of them. Google, all these, like that, tens of thousands of people were laid off. And it's just like, what happens? Well, AI is going to help replace some of that workload, but then there's going to be responsibilities heaped on other people. Anytime you lay people off, it's not like the boss comes down and says, all right, let me get my hands dirty, roll up my sleeves and get down here and work with you.
Right.
No, those responsibilities get passed on to somebody else who already has a crazy workload. And when they take a break, all that workload does is pile up, so you can't even relax on your vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that gets talked about in this article is time poverty. When people do take their time off, typically it's used for childcare.
Yeah.
So we were raised where our parents got vacation and our parents took us to vacation that was kid stuff, where they didn't get a chance to relax. That was King's Dominions and water parks. And they would get a chance to ride in the lazy river for a little bit of time. And that's where they got peace and tranquility for that 7-day vacation for about an hour. And then they had to turn around and go right back to work.
Yeah.
And so people are just getting burnt the hell out. And then they're leaving. They're like, look, y'all don't want to give me a remote job or even a hybrid job? I'm going to rock with you for enough time for me to find a new job that will, and then I'm out. Because I could take a pay decrease if I'm not commuting to work, because it might all even out in the end. And even if it doesn't even out, my peace of mind is better off in this situation than dealing with you.
Yeah. And
So, I mean,
it's funny, it got me thinking what you were saying earlier about the corporate culture, and it got me thinking that a lot of our modern industrial kind of management is directly influenced by enslavement. So if you're used to not paying your workers and suddenly the system changes and now you have to treat them like with equitable treatment, right? And fair treatment, when the history of business practices in this country is, and the financial power of this country, I say company because America is a business, or like the modern ideas of capitalism are rooted in the history of enslavement, then you're already starting from a foundation that's not going to be equitable to the worker.
Yes. You know who the largest employer for the southern states is outside of government? Walmart. Do you know the majority, a large scale of their employers are on SNAP?
Of their employees?
Employees, yeah.
Yeah.
Their employees are on SNAP.
Yeah.
Did you know that one of every $4 from SNAP benefits are paid to a Walmart? People shop with SNAP benefits at Walmart. So one of every $4 that is spent using SNAP is being spent at Walmart.
Yeah.
So what is this all telling you? It's telling you Walmart, one, doesn't try to make you a full-time employee because they don't want to pay benefits. Mm-hmm. Walmart makes sure that you poor, so you got to sign up for SNAP.
Yeah.
Walmart also makes sure they're going to get a little bit of that SNAP money.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of sharecropping. Yep. When you were paid in some made up money that the plantation that only works at their stores. So you're just giving them their money right back. It reminds me of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so America, wake up. Wake up. We are killing ourselves. And I have to listen to myself as well. This anxiety that comes over me when I'm sitting and relaxing is okay. Like I can sit and relax. Like I don't need to do something all the time. Like the greatest thing that we did for this podcast is reduce the number of individual content that we put on YouTube. We were putting out 2 pieces of content every day. So 14 pieces of content every week.
Yeah.
And now we are putting out, I think it's 9. That workload, that reduction, because ladies and gentlemen, don't get me wrong. Look, I love doing this podcast. I love it. But I am an ambitious person. Mm-hmm. And I don't walk, I run. Like my mom tells a story that I was scooting for a long time, scooting, hadn't walked. And I stood up and ran.
Yeah.
I never walked. I stood up and ran. That's who I am as a person. So I took on a little bit more than I could chew in the beginning. But scaling it back has been a huge weight off of my shoulders. And I have more time to just sit around and play video games. Yeah. Now, I ain't bought the new versions of the video games because you know why? I didn't really get to play the old versions. So I could save a little bit of money, not get the new versions, but play the old versions. Yeah. But most importantly, there has to be a mentality reset for everybody in this country. Yeah. That's older millennial, Gen X and above. Because Gen Zs, they don't have this issue. Right? They're not gonna suffer from time poverty. They're gonna go ahead and get themselves a new job. They got the right idea. And you know what the problem is? Everybody from our generation up is trying to say that they're lazy. No, they're smarter because they realize that they don't want to work themselves to death.
Yeah. No. They have the right idea. And it is to demand your benefit. Your paid leave is part of your benefits package. So just like you are owed your paycheck, you are owed your paid leave. And no, they cannot force you to work during your leave. It's actually illegal.
I don't even like this thing where you got to request leave. Look.
Right.
I told you I'm not going to be here.
Yeah. I'm letting you know this wasn't me asking because I'm an adult and I can go and do what I want. And also I have this benefit that is owed to me in exchange for my labor.
But companies sure hell will tell you that you got to use it or lose it.
Yeah.
They will be like, hey, you got to use this before you lose it. They will sure as hell will do some stuff like that.
And then we're not even we're talking about people who have access to paid leave. We're not even talking about the fact that paid leave fuels inequality, right? Because low wage and part-time workers are the least likely to have access. Only 6% of the bottom 10% wage earners have paid family leave, right? And that that disproportionately impacts who? Well, obviously, low income folks, right? Women and people of color.
Man, look, life really sucks if you poor in this
Yeah,
country.
it really
They don't give
does.
you no way. They don't give you no way out. You'll be like, what about SNAP? Look, let me tell you something. That ain't a way out. That's just a way to survive.
Yeah.
Those are two different things. Being able to survive and then being able to survive and find your way out, two totally different things. This country doesn't allow you too much opportunity to get yourself out of poverty.
It really doesn't.
It just gives you
It's
some
really
opportunity
set
to
up to
survive.
keep you in poverty.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't help but continue to go back to this idea of sharecropping, right? Like the whole point of it was that you never earn your way out.
Mm-hmm.
You never escape poverty, because in order for the top 1% to stay at the top, the majority of us have to stay in poverty. That's how it works. That's capitalism.
There you go right there. But speaking of capitalism, what would you do if you was broke and people invited themselves over for a party at your place and you had to pay for it? We're going to get into that next. Okay, Jay, look. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been doing a lot of Reddit posts. My sister is very busy, okay? And I'm very busy.
Yeah.
Besides, we get a lot of feedback that y'all enjoy us commenting on these Reddit posts. And I think it's a good way to end the show because my sister typically goes off on a rant. That's kind of funny. And I think this story will be no different than the previous ones of my sister going off on a rant and being funny.
Why do you always pick ones that rile me up?
Well, Jay, I always pick topics that will rile you up because that's good for the show.
I didn't know this was a strategic choice.
I'm
to rile
producing
me
you,
up.
right?
Got it.
At the heart of me, I'm not a host. I'm a producer.
Got it.
I might be a decent interviewer, but at the heart of me, I'm a producer. Okay, that's what I am. I'm good at eliciting some type of emotion out of people and directing them and pointing them in the right. That's who I am as a person.
Got it.
So that's the reason why a lot of times I get gold and people comment and they say, your sister was so hilarious when she said that. And I'm like, I know. I pointed her in a direction because I knew where she was going to go. I knew she was going to lose her temper. And this story should be no different. So
Yeah.
it's an Am I the Jerk? That's the title of that's the subreddit. And it is, Am I a Jerk for invoicing my friend group $23 each after they pushed me to host a playoff watch party? Now, I just gave you the title, Jay. What do you think? Before I read the post, what do you think just off the title?
No, I don't think you're a jerk for that. If
Invoice?
y'all owe me some money. Do they owe him some money? That's I have to hear the story.
Okay, so here's the story. Here's what he
Okay.
wrote. I'm a 31 male, have a tiny apartment, but I have the biggest TV in our group and a decent couch. A week before the game, the group chat basically votes that the party is at my place because, quote unquote, your sound is crazy good. I say, cool, but I can't afford to feed 9 people solo right now. I suggest a potluck or we split basics. 2 people say they are bringing wings and brownies. One says he'll do chips, but day of, only chips show up. I end up buying 3 pizzas, a veggie tray, ice, 2 12-packs, and seltzers because I panic that it'll be weird with nothing. The receipt total was $207.41, and my place got wrecked. Nothing broken, just sticky glasses and salsa in the rug. Everyone left fast because it was a Monday. Next morning, the same chat is sharing memes about the game and saying, hey, and I say, hey, can we split the cost? It's $23 each. I'll send a breakdown. Immediately I got, dude, it's tacky to charge for hospitality. And you offered to host. I didn't offer. They picked me and I said, split or potluck like 3 times. One guy Venmos me. The rest start moving goalposts that they barely drank, that they brought vibes, that they could deduct pizza because I had 2 slices too. I say, it's okay not to pay. I just won't host next time because I'm not a bank. Now I'm petty and keeping score. I do like having people over, but I also like rent paid on time. Am I the jerk for sending the invoice and saying no more hosting if we don't split?
No. And you don't have friends. I
Well,
know you say this is the group chat or this is your friend group and all there you don't have friends. The one person who Venmo'd you is your friend. But I'm gonna tell you, when I host things, one, people bring the things they say they're gonna bring. That's number one. And 2, my friends offer, hey, what you need, friend? What you need me to bring? Do you need me to contribute anything? Because that's what friends do. Because they realize I'm opening up my home to a bunch of folks for something that probably don't even have nothing to do with me, right? But my home is centrally located and it really is set up for entertaining. So
your house is definitely set up for entertainment.
Yeah. So I don't mind hosting things, but I never have to say, hey, I ain't got it like that. So can y'all help out? It's always offered.
Mm-hmm.
It's always offered because they realize that just the act of opening your home up is a lot in and of itself. And you foot the bill to feed 9 people. And they trying to nickel and dime you over $23?
$23.
Not only do you not have friends, you know some broke people.
Right.
'Cause, bruh, it's $23. I didn't ask you for $2,300. Asked you for 20. And the black cutoff is
2-3. 2-3. You said 20.
Well, because we round. Well, black folk, we round. I was just about to say the black cutoff is $40. So it don't even approach the black cutoff for stuff being expensive, which is $40. It's $23.
Right. 23.
And y'all nickel and dime. You had pizza too. So yeah, I paid $207. So I paid for my slices.
And on top of that, he's not saying, well, no, I'm not paying for anything. He's saying between all of us, it's $23 a piece. So I don't even know what they were talking about. You got to deduct 2 slices of pizza. Was he paying $23 and he don't get to enjoy anything?
Right.
So
when
you said that he didn't have friends initially, I was just like, well, this is a guy thing. Guys typically aren't real courteous and what's the word I'm looking for? Not kind of like
considerate.
There you go.
Yeah.
That guy friends just we're jerks to each other.
Yeah.
Right. Like we are just legitimately jerks to each other. But I don't have no guy friends like this.
No, especially not at the grown age of 31.
Right. And here's another thing. When I was doing things at 31, having people over, people brought stuff. I didn't even have to ask. They brought stuff.
Yes.
Right?
I never show up empty-handed.
Never show up empty-handed. And another thing that pissed me off about this is that he said his house was wrecked afterwards.
Yeah.
I recently went over a friend's house. They cooked dinner. It was this big dinner, right? And they were still cooking when I got there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm bringing dessert or something. No. Just bring yourself. And I was like, okay, cool. Everything was done. We're done eating. And I'm like, yo, there's mad dishes in the sink. Let me wash some dishes or something. No, don't worry about that. No, no, I'm not leaving here your house a mess after you invited me over and you told me not to bring anything. And I didn't because you insisted upon me not bringing anything. I'm going to help with these dishes.
Yeah,
Okay. So
you know what's funny? Every time I have something at my house, when it's wrapping up, you will look in my kitchen and it's people in there washing dishes and wiping the counters down, putting the food away, taking the garbage out. I don't do any of that.
what
Like,
happened?
I don't do
Well,
any of that.
there was one birthday where you couldn't.
Well, yes. Sometimes I can't. But
You just woke up the next day and everything was clean. And put
everything
away.
was done and put away. And I was just like, oh, cool, because I don't remember anything that happened. But nah, you said, especially two people like, oh, we'll bring wings and brownies. And then you show up empty handed. The bare minimum is chips. The bare minimum is chips. But you say you're going to bring the wings and the brownies. You show up empty handed. And then you don't even contribute to this man buying the pizza and the veggie tray and the ice and the 212 packs and the seltzers and all of the things, like knowing that you didn't bring the thing that you said you were going to bring. You should have handed him some cash as he was doing these things. Like oh, hell no. Like, sir, listen, sir, let me tell you something. It costs you $207.41 to get a gang of people up out your life.
Well, no. Deduct $23 because one person did pay.
One person did pay, yes.
I would venture to believe it was also the person that brought the chips.
Probably.
It's like, oh, yeah, okay. No, you did.
I bet you it was the same person. I bet you
it was the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another thing. You know, I'm petty. And I don't mind rubbing it in my guy friends' faces. Like, y'all said y'all was going to bring stuff. Y'all didn't bring nothing? Okay, cool. I'd order food for myself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Food and drinks and everything. They'd be
yeah.
like, yo, you ain't get us nothing to eat? I was like, yeah, everybody's supposed to bring wings stuff. Didn't nobody bring nothing? Y'all wanted to invite yourself over to my crib. Y'all got Uber Eats. Y'all got DoorDash. Go ahead and order you something.
The way I'd have sat up there with 6 to 10 honey mustard wings and crinkle fries.
Not honey mustard wings.
And a large drink and watch that game in my home. And if you have a problem with it, you can get the hell out. Like, nah. And then you try to put it on me. It's tacky to charge for hospitality. This was a group idea. This was a group idea. And it was your idea. And y'all voted that it would be at my place because the sound is crazy. Fine. That's great. But let me remind you that I said we're going to split it or do a potluck like 3 times and y'all act like y'all didn't hear me. So, okay, you don't want to pay me? Fine. I'll eat that. Shout out to the one person who did. Don't ask me for nothing. And if you have a problem with it, now I'm petty and I'm keeping score. Cool. Y'all can go ahead. The next thing you're going to see is Jonna has left the chat. That's the next thing you're going to see is that I've left the chat.
I'm also petty enough to just be like, oh, okay, I'm going to eat that. And then can't wait for somebody else to throw a party.
Can't wait.
And then I'm going to come in there with some muddy boots like Rick James from the Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
And put my boots all in there. Because not only, they spilled salsa in the rug.
Yeah.
Salsa in the rug.
Like,
Nah, you ain't go. I'm paying for everything, and y'all gonna mess up my house. Everybody gonna jet. Ain't nobody gonna help me clean.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be allowed in my house no more.
Yeah. No, you absolutely are not crossing my threshold. You broke freeloaders. Like, to hell with you. No, those are not your friends. Those are not your friends. And it just cost you $207.41 less the $23 the one person sent you. And they little bag of chips was pretty sure again that it's the same person, but like
guarantee you it was.
But I'm letting you know right now, you are not petty. You are not just keeping score. No, y'all owe me this. This was I hosted it at my house, but this was a joint decision to have this watch party. Y'all not gonna play me like that. Keep on. You gonna see John has left the chat.
And I'm going to just say these were baseball fans too, by the way, because the only playoffs that's going on right now is baseball. So these were baseball fans. So
yeah, get out of my face, rookie.
$23. If you
$23,
you 30 years old, you in
Right.
your late 20s, early 30s, and somebody is asking you to contribute $23, which if you go to a club or a strip
Heck yeah.
club, you got to pay $20 to get in. And they don't even give you free drinks.
You had beer, pizza, some chips and salsa. There were salsas there. You watched it on my TV. You sat on my couch. You got salsa on my rug, and you can't give me $23?
$23.
It would be one thing if in the group chat I had posted an invite. Hey guys, I decided to have a playoff watch party. Everybody come through. If I invoice you then, okay, I'm wrong for that.
You're wrong for that.
But that's not what happened here.
Nah.
You just you done dodged a bullet. Find some friends. Find some actual friends, because this is not what they are.
Yeah. At first, I wasn't rolling with you when you first made that statement, but yeah, you convinced me.
Friends don't do this.
Except Mr. $23 and chips. That's your boy.
Yeah, that's your friend for real, right
Yes.
there.
Matter of fact, you should just be at the next game. You should be like, hey man, you want to go to the bar, and you might even buy him around. Just be like, hey, thank you for just being cool about everything.
Yeah.
Because you showed me that you ain't like the rest of them.
Where else can you pay $23 for, and you get pizza, vegetables, beer, seltzer, and it only costs you $23, and you get to watch the
And some
game,
chips.
and some chips and salsa, and you get to watch the game? Where else can you do that for $23?
I'm not going to say that you was a jerk for doing this. I am going to say you was an idiot for feeling like it was going to be weird because nothing was there, because they didn't bring what they said they was going to bring.
No, then we just going to
What
sit
you
in here
shoulda
hungry.
Right. What you should have done is ordered you some food, you ordered you some stuff, and sat there and enjoyed the game and let them look hungry, because DoorDash and Uber Eats is just a button away on your cell phone. You do it yourself.
Yep.
On that note, Jay, what do you want to tell the people out here?
Choose your friends wisely.
Also, choose your alcohol wisely.
That too.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I'll holla. Woo! That was a hell of a show. Thank you for rocking with us here on Unsolicited Perspectives with Bruce Anthony. Now, before you go, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share our podcast wherever you're listening or watching it to it. Pass it along to your friends. If you enjoy it, that means the people that you rock will enjoy it also. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the noise. And for all those people that say, well, I don't have a YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch our video podcast and YouTube exclusive content. But the real party is on our Patreon page, After Hours Uncensored and Talking Straight-ish. After Hours Uncensored is another show with my sister. And once again, the key word there is uncensored. Those are exclusively on our Patreon page. Jump onto our website at unsolicitedperspective.com for all things us. That's where you can get all of our audio, video, our blogs, and even buy our merch. And if you really feel generous and want to help us out, you can donate on our donations page. Donations go strictly to improving our software and hardware so we can keep giving you guys good content that you can clearly listen to and that you can clearly see. So any donation would be appreciative. Most importantly, I want to say thank you for listening and watching and supporting us. And I'll catch you next time. Audi 5000. Peace.